Hello everyone, welcome back to the KMT Traders channel. So this is the Crypto Weekly Analysis Volume 15. Again, giving you an insight of what we're expecting over the next week, and we will compare our analysis from last week as well. So, So what we can see through this week's been quite interesting. Again, what we've drawn through our analysis is that we were expecting a turnover towards the downside at some point. And it's clear that we've had that drop now, so it's quite interesting to see this play out because this drop in the market is very strong. Well, to me it looks very strong, so this could add to the reason or add to the play where we could expect price to now drop lower. So essentially we're just going to see now if price has that capability of just pushing lower now, and if we can now break this 28k barrier, we should be able to potentially look at that next big shift in the market, in the sense where we expect the next bull run. So let me add that in here. So this is what we are looking at, and again, this is only going to work if price does break this low. So I'm not expecting any bull runs just yet. For me, it will be very clear if we can get that bull run if we break this high. So even though this move towards the downside does look strong, there still is a possibility that price could still push higher. So the best case scenario, again, we're still in a bullish market, so we are still looking for long-term buys. But that doesn't mean that because price has broken, let's just say if price does break this high, which is the all-time high, that you should just enter the market and buy. Again, it's about waiting for the cheaper points in the market so that you buy to maximize your reward, right? So applying that scenario, my point of interest is basically looking at price to break this low, the 28k barrier, and that should to me signify some nice buying opportunities for Bitcoin, but not just Bitcoin, the other coins as well. So that's pretty much my bias for now. With Bitcoin, and we'll move on to some other coins as well. So we'll take a look into Ripple. So you can understand now how, as I've been saying before, that the Bitcoin dominance does have a reflection on with the other coins. So as we can see here, as Bitcoin has dropped as well, Ripple has also dropped. So XRP has dropped massively. Well, it doesn't look that big, but this is actually quite a big drop. So again, we're still we're still using that logic of Bitcoin dominance to add in our bias of the overall trend in the market. So for this, again, as Bitcoin I think is dropping, this could also have a reflection on Ripple, in the sense that we could get price to drop below 50 cents, and if so, that would be a nice time to buy in that market. So again, I'm just going to leave that bias from last week and a similar thing where we're looking for price to drop down, and then once again, if we get into that 50 cents, this could start that bull run, and that's where we could be looking at breaking at all-time highs at $3 or even $2. So again, a lot of reward up for up for grabs. So that's pretty much Ripple. So it's good to see that planning out, as I've been saying before. So yeah, let's take a look at Cardano. So yeah, what I think I was saying with Cardano is that we were expecting potentially price to break up higher, but we're still ultimately waiting for price to drop lower. So we could see price push higher, maybe, but I'm liking the look of that drop off. So I'm thinking that price could make its way to the downside and drop into that $1 barrier. So it could look something like this over the next few days. But if price does break above the high, then don't worry, the price still has to come down at some point. So I think we just need to stay patient with Cardano because it's kind of moving in its own way according to the other pairs. But again, following on from the Bitcoin dominance, that drop has had an effect on Cardano. And we can see how it's dropped massively. So this could be a shift towards the downside, and it really depends if price does want to go to $1. But yeah, we'll see roughly where we'll see what happens with this. But again, we're not looking for random buying opportunities. We're looking at buying opportunities with good reasoning. Okay, so don't just buy this just for the hell of it. And again, FOMO is real, so just stay patient. So Litecoin, again, it's we're still we're calling a drop off. So we've had price push up, and then that drop off is now there. So if we can start to break these lows here and head into the 5K region, then there's more potential for price to head into the 3K region, and then again there is that possibility of price entering this if price does enter this 3K region, we should have that ability to push higher. And again, pretty much Bitcoin really, it looks similar to me anyway. But again, you get the understanding and get the logistics of what I'm trying to say is we're just waiting for price to drop lower, so we're not rushing in anything yet. Ethereum. So yeah, so I was quite conscious and quite aware of how price is pushing higher and higher. So I've got two things in mind, and actually I have three. So the reason why I'm having these three scenarios is because of the Bitcoin dominance, and I'm not really entirely sure if it will last, if it will hold with Ethereum. So what we can see is pretty much a downside. Well, the price has really turned over drastically. Again, we were waiting for this because of the divergence, but to be honest, the divergence is pretty strong right now, so it's okay. But with that drop off in price action, that could be a slight warning that people will want to sell. So it depends if price will push lower. So if price does push lower, excuse me, then this would be your opportunity to buy here. Now the second scenario is that if price does recover this drop off and it breaks this high, which is the all-time high for Ethereum, essentially what you will be doing or need to do is wait for that retest, and then we'll look for those continuations. And then the third scenario is that if price does break this high but we start to see massive rejections, then the next buying opportunity is at this low here. So again, these two scenarios, we will be able to cover this. So as time goes on, we will be able to eliminate at least one as weeks go on, because it should be quite clear where price is heading. It shouldn't be, we shouldn't, say for example we're here, this let me explain that better. If price action develops more and we're heading more towards breaking this high, then it won't be right for me to say that price can still drop, right? So then it will be these two, and then if price does break this strongly, then we'll wait for a retest. But then if price does break this high, so again this is the high, so if price does break the high but then it massively rejects, then we should be able to see price drop lower, and then again that's where we can look for those buys. But this is why the Bitcoin dominance may have an effect, because if I'm saying Bitcoin is going to drop below that 28k barrier, then we're expecting price to drop. We already know that if Bitcoin drops, it has a reflection on the other pairs. So like, look what happened here. and that was pretty much similar in Bitcoin, right? So this is across the board. So moving on to Dogecoin. Okay, so again, yeah, so I was looking at price to drop off still. I think I was still looking at this sell-off opportunity. So I think we can get rid of that zone now. Or I can put this at the top right. I think this will be better. But I think essentially what we're trying to do is to see if we can break the 15 cents barrier or even into the 10 cents barrier. So I think this is slowly working out, and it looks like it's dropping quite rapidly. Well, here it did, but we'll see what happens over the next few days. So yeah, let me just quickly move this, drop this lower. So yeah, essentially we're just waiting for price to drop lower, and I think this one will be a good buy, because I'm trying to see if we can get into that 70. Oh well, technically I'm trying to see if we can get into the $1 region, but yeah, we'll see what happens with this. And finally, we are going to look at, well, we're going to introduce a new pair, and it's EGLD. Okay, so let me quickly add this in. So this one is just going to be a fresh analysis. Okay, let me just find the one. Hold on, bear with me a second. ELG USD. Bitfinex. I think so. Yep. Okay. So there we go. Right. So this one has been on my radar, and I just wanted to introduce this to you guys. So I'll just give you a quick rundown on. Well, you can't really see much on the monthly perspective. Daily. Okay, let's take a look on the daily. So this one, excuse me. So this one, been interested in, and yeah. So my thoughts on this right now. This one is rocketing off, as we can see that we've broken the high in April. So just here. So they're my key points right now. So what's most likely happening right now, and what we can expect, is it really depends how strong this move towards the upside is. Okay, so if we take a look at the divergence, we are slowly trailing. We're slowly pushing. Well, we don't really have any divergence right now, so we're quite leveled off here. So that's okay. So I might as well draw some scenarios for you guys. So there's one possibility where we get price to do something like this as a retest, and that would be your little entry. But I personally would not take that as an entry unless you're scalping it for short term. I think if you're a long-term trader, I think what the best case scenario is to let this run out, or let this run, and then wait for price to drop heavily. And I think this could happen with Bitcoin. So once price drops in Bitcoin, that could have a reflection. Yeah, that could have a reflection, or it could have some sort of effect with this pair. So we could even drop as low as $60 or $40, or anywhere within this range, you know, where price drops. So I'm not going to say rough exactly where for now because it's too early. My main thing is just want to see how strong this can go, because if we start to see price rallying up really fast, then the scenario would look something like this. When it retraces, it will just recover within this range here, so from this low to this high, and then push higher up, and that's where we would look for those buying opportunities. Again, don't rush into this, because this is a very FOMOing opportunity. or FOMOing moment right now. But again, totally play it how you want to play it. I would personally wait for a retest, and that could be your first move, or wait for a stronger recovery. And in that case, if you do want to wait for this, this means that if we do find the correct bottom, then you'll be able to hold this position for a longer time. And yeah, so from then on, I think this could really rally, but we'll have to keep an eye on this from a week-to-week basis. So again, this is EGLD. If you are not familiar with it, take a look into its project. It looks really good. But yeah, it's just something that I'd want to introduce to you guys. So yeah, just one more crypto to the weekly analysis. So again, guys, I do appreciate your time for listening. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, do leave this video with a like. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thank you very much for listening, guys, and I'll see you all in our next video.